Hello, welcome back to Effie's Bubble. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe, leave your comments down below, and hit that notification button. So today I want to talk about COVID-19, how I survived COVID-19 and how I'm doing. So I remember it was January 2021 and I was diagnosed positive with COVID-19 on the 12th of January. 2 days prior, I had started exhibiting symptoms of upper nasal congestion and a little bit cough, just slight, and a little bit of a sore throat. But I figured I had no fever or anything else, so, because I usually get one nasal infection at least once a year because of change of seasons. So we went to the store and I got some cough syrup and Tylenol. I took it that Saturday. Come Sunday, I was feeling the same way, but now I had no taste and no smell. But I assumed, well, since my nose was stuffy, it couldn't be anything, different from what I've had before. So sometime during the day, I started feeling hot and then cold, and then the cough was getting persistent. So I asked my daughter to smell the food that we were eating. We were having some grilled chicken. And I was like, okay, now I really cannot smell and I cannot taste. But since I didn't want to send panic across the household, I said, okay, I'm just gonna wait and see, how it is the day, the next day. So come Monday morning at about 11, I was working from home. Brother, we were working from home. So I went in, signed in. But like 3 hours later, I told my employer, I was like, I don't feel good. I can't work. I can't focus. I can't function. So I drove myself to urgent care, put my kids in the car, and we went because my kids were out of school. When we got there, it didn't take but maybe like 10 minutes. And my test came back positive. So my physician who saw me that day said, it's been caught early, but still it has to be at least another 24 hours to see how the symptoms will continue presenting themselves, if any new ones will come over. So she said, since you're here now, to avoid the spread, she gave me a note to go to the store because I had to buy all these things. Some of them are prescription, but I had to go and buy some of these supplies. And she gave me a note. She said, if anything happens in the store, just, present this letter. That way they'll know you came to see me and you had to go get the supplies. But after today, you cannot leave your house for 14 days. So I did that. Went to the store. I bought some aspirin, sinus medication. I had Tylenol and a cough syrup. So, and then I was given this to take home for testing my shortness of breath because I was exhibiting that. By the time I left the doctor's office, I was having difficulty breathing. So 5 days into the disease, this monster, I started exhibiting other symptoms. Now I'm having fever, chill, body aches, headaches, persistent that will not go away. I'm having nausea, I'm dehydrated. Having some weird, it's like not even a body ache. It's like pain right on top of your skin. And then on top of that, your joints hurt. So I called my doctor and she was like, okay, we have to see you again. She was like, well, you're still positive. So the only thing you can do is either call an ambulance or if you have to drive, we will have to track you, which is what they did from your house to the doctor's office. They stay with you on the phone to make sure everything is okay in case of anything, and to also make sure you don't stop anywhere else, which I wasn't going to anyway. I didn't even have the strength. So I get there and she's like, okay. So my left face was starting to swell and I'm still thinking it's nasal congestion on top of the COVID. But no, I had fluid that shifted thank God, instead of my fluid settling in my lungs and my heart, it settled in the back of my ears. So that the pressure, because the fluid had nowhere to go, so it started coming towards the outer side of my face and my ears started hurting. So she said I had an ear infection and I had fluid lodged in the back of my ear. So when I left there, now I had another set of medication. This is a steroid nasal spray. I was also given steroid pills and antibiotics. And 24 hours later, I had to go back and get a chest x-ray done. So when I got back, I had my chest x-ray done, and then I was also given some Phenergan for nausea. This is motion sickness medication. And then I don't have it anymore, but I was supposed to be taking individual vitamin C, zinc. This has elderberry, echinacea, ginger, vitamin D, turmeric. It's a 7-in-1 defense capsule, which I continuously take up to today. And then this is ashwagandha. It's an extract of the black pepper. It has a very hot taste. Once you take it, it has that weird aftertaste, but it helps with energy, especially after COVID. Energy, and also it kind of calms your nerves down, because when your body hurts, your nerves are all over the place. So my COVID-19 symptoms did not subside up until like 5 weeks. It's like every time I came up with something new, I developed vertigo because of that fluid. So I was walking sideways. And then also, I also developed a nasal infection because the nose wouldn't clear. The fluids kept, draining. So I developed that. So I was still on steroids and antibiotics, 2 types of antibiotics. So it was not an easy journey, and my kids were very, very scared. My family was quite scared. I was scared so much for myself that I couldn't even, and I didn't want to show anybody that I was scared, because when you're scared, everybody else doesn't know how to be there for you. So also, I was advised to have a lot of hot fluids. I took ginger, honey, turmeric, a lot of soup, bone broth from chicken, beef, just any kind of bones were just, the best thing to kind of bring back my health. So I couldn't cook, so thank God for a good support system. My friends would cook the food, the soup, and come leave it at my door. And my grocery shoppings were the same thing. I couldn't leave. I was contagious up to the 3rd week. So, it's not an easy journey to go through by yourself, but I had to fight COVID, and I didn't want COVID to fight me, since every time I woke up, I looked at my kids and I'm like, I have to go through this. I have to fight it. It was not easy, but I made it. And then after that, we're in May now, almost June. I still exhibit post-COVID symptoms. Sometimes I'll have body aches. Sometimes I have shortness of breath, headaches, and sometimes it's like you're always anxious, like, okay, what now? Something happens to you, like, what now? Is it COVID again? But thank God now I've got both my vaccines, and I still wear my mask. I still sanitize, even if, a lot of people, when they get the vaccine, they're not wearing the mask. I'm still doing that. So it's not an easy journey, but it's something we have to fight through. And COVID affects everybody differently. It hits everybody different. For me, it hit so hard. And it's like I had the flu, the cold, and malaria type, everything like in one box put together, and then it's given to you like through IV or something, because it's like it's under your skin and it attacks everything in you. Your way of thinking, and I didn't even realize until my older sister told me when I was sick, I keep repeating myself. I didn't even realize I was repeating myself that many times. And then I was forgetting things. I didn't know that. And then also, it also kind of messes with your emotions sometimes. Sometimes you're very emotional, especially when it's an emotional roller coaster. Because you're trying to fight something that has no cure and something that you can't even see. But so far, so good. Thank God, that I came through it. Again, we have to learn how to fight. I know it's easier said than done. I can say it now, but sometimes I felt like I was going to give up. It was not an easy fight to put up, because I had to learn how to get out of bed. It took about 10 minutes because I have to sit up, then wait, catch my breath. Use this like 3-4 times, and it has to come all the way up to the highest, which was 25 ml, which was taking very long. And also I had to walk, even if it's like 5-6 steps, and sit down, because a lot of my physicians kept telling me if you don't walk, you're gonna lose your muscle tone. If you don't smell stuff, even if I didn't have any sense of smell, but I was advised by my doctor I have to smell cinnamon, bleach, and ginger and garlic, because they're very strong. And also, to bring my taste buds back, I had to eat raw ginger and raw garlic. It was nasty. It was very nasty, very tasteless. But that also brought back my taste and my smell. So again, I know COVID came. It looks like it's not going anywhere, so we have to learn how to live with it. Let's all do our part. Let's do what we're supposed to do as far as protecting ourselves. Let's get vaccinated. Let's protect our loved ones. I lost an uncle who was dear to me, my dad's brother. He was, he got COVID, and 2 weeks later he was gone. It came and it just walled up and took everything in him, and he was a very, very strong man. My uncle was 83. But looking at him, you would think he was 40 or 50. Very strong. He was not sick. He was a healthy chap. So, all this time they keep saying, oh, COVID affects people with prior sickness or pre-existing conditions. That's not true. I'm healthy. I mean, I'm not bragging, but I have a clean bill of health. But COVID hit me, and it hit me hard. So this thing called COVID-19 can affect everybody. Being on these drugs, all this medication, it's not fun. This, and then when you add on top of this 2 antibiotics and steroids, it's not fun. And you have to breathe through this little machine. And, I'm glad I did not end up on a ventilator, but my doctor said, I was so close to being on that vent because my breathing was horrible. I couldn't eat, I couldn't drink, I was dehydrated. So I had to force myself, because I could not see myself going to the hospital and leaving my family, especially my kids. Those were my biggest worry, but they're my warriors. They really, really encouraged me. They used to be like, Mommy, let's go walk in the house. They'll hold my hand. We'll walk around the house, and my daughter will be like, Mommy, I'll fix you some Gatorade. My son, he's 5, but that was one of the hardest times for me to look at him. He became a baby again. He did not want to leave my sight. He was like right under my arm. Every time I sat on the couch, he was right there. Mind you, my body hurts like crazy, but he just wants to sit there, and he's like, Mommy, let me see if you have a fever. Mommy, let me just sit next to you. Let me hold you. And every time my son does that, or used to do that, my daughter would get scared, and she's like, Mommy, I don't want to see you get sick again. I just want you to get better. I hate COVID-19. I wish this thing would go away. So, and again, it's not that we're going out there to get it, because we don't go anywhere. We stay home. But, you could go to the store, somebody sneezes, or somebody touches something in a store, you end up touching it. You could shop in gloves, but when you get home, you still have to unpack your groceries. So it could be anywhere on the surface. And so, let's be more vigilant. Let's be more careful. And thank God, now we have the vaccine. It's a blessing to have the vaccine. Trust me, if they had the vaccine when I had COVID and it was being offered in my situation, I would have taken it, but it wasn't a possibility because I had to get better. So, I would hate to see anybody go through this. I would hate to see anybody suffer. It is not a fun road to be on. It is not a good thing to be on, because trust me, I could not even comb my hair. My scalp hurt. I wanted to chop off my hair. Everything hurts. Even the cuticles on your nails, everything hurts. And then, your skin starts getting so dry, so pale, you become dark. And then it's like it's a bad picture. So, let's be more vigilant. Let's love each other. And, since, this pandemic hit, people have died. People are still in hospital. Let us learn to love one another while we're still here. Let's not wait until somebody is gone and that is when we're like, oh my gosh, I should have done this for that somebody. If you're here and that somebody is here with you, please, if you feel like you have to do something for them, go do it. Don't wait and then regret what you should have done or said to them. Love your people. Tell them you love them as much as you can every single time you see somebody or every time you talk to somebody. If you love them, tell them you love them. Show your affection. You know, it doesn't have to be that you call people every day, no. But let people know you appreciate them. Appreciate people while they're still here. You know, so that's all I have for today. And again, I'm praising God and I thank God that I'm healthy and He has seen me through it. So all this, you know, I could push it to the side now, that way, and I'm free. The only thing now I take is my aspirin, and once in a while, because of the pollen, I'll take my nasal spray and my Zyrtec D. The last thing I take is my ashwagandha black pepper extract. This is all I'm on right now. I know it seems like a lot, but guess what? It's better than that, plus everything else people have to take when they're suffering from COVID-19. So people, I love you all. Thank you for my subscribers. Thank you for my viewers. Again, if you're new to my channel, subscribe. Leave your comments down below and hit that notification button. Thank you, and I will see you again soon.